Hi, so I'm Obakeng Jona, originally from Potchefstroom in South Africa, but I'm currently based in Cape Town at the University of Cape Town, and I'm a lecturer and a PhD candidate in chemical engineering. My research focuses on bioprocess engineering, and in particular, we look at the development of biopharmaceuticals, and in particular probiotics for the case of female reproductive health. And the reason why I chose to come to the summer school focusing on impact is that I appreciate that much as scientists and engineers, we're able to generate knowledge. It's only once the knowledge is translated from the lab to the marketplace that the impact can be realized. And as an engineer, we're given tools much as they're very much focused on the science and the design aspects of the things that have the potential to bring about impact. However, it's spaces such as the summer school that I will then be equipped to then marry or bring about concepts relating to impact and to be able to translate my research potentially into the marketplace and then realize a change in the context of my research with biopharmaceuticals and probiotics. So the kind of work that we do, initially it's a project that involves medical virologists and at health sciences, and a portion of the work also includes the community, where there was a clinical trial study done and we created products where we fed traditional fermented foods to mothers who have just given birth, and we tried to understand the impact of their consumption of these live bacteria containing food on their health and the outcomes that there's the link that we're trying to understand between them consuming those fermented foods as well as their microbiome related to their reproductive health. And it's working in a collaborative team and space that you realize the importance of different skills that people bring about, because it's one thing as scientists and engineers to understand the textbook science, but then there's many lenses. And having been in the summer school, I was also made to appreciate other things that I'm not trained to understand. So yes, indeed, we do work in a multi and interdisciplinary space, and that's also the core function of my project is. I feel like before the summer school, I had a high level understanding of what impact means. And it's upon being in these sessions and being trained through the workshops and lectures that we got into the meaty understanding of what impact comprises and the many different considerations that one has to take upon trying to bring about impact. In my context, so given that I'm a PhD student and a lecturer, towards the end of the final year for our undergraduate students, we're meant to propose projects where they're supposed to bring about their understanding of chemical engineering and carry on a 2 or 3 month long research project. So my understanding is to be able to bring the skills that I've understood and for them to understand and appreciate the steps that would be involved in taking a product post it being designed in the lab and translating that into the marketplace. So I'm looking into that. We also have potential master's students who might be part of our research project, and once I'm able to take my learnings and transfer it to them, they will have a better understanding of what the core function or the ultimate goal of our project is. Because it's one thing to create these products to change lives, but it's only upon translating them from the lab to the marketplace that we'll see a change in female reproductive health in the context of my research, yes. Because what I'm realizing, as I mentioned earlier on, it's one thing to train scientists and engineers, and they have an understanding of the technology that might bring about impact, but it's only once they taught to shift their thinking towards having projects that have societal change that they're then able to see the application of the science in improving lives. So more fitting, I think, maybe for postgraduate students or senior students within their undergrad training, either be core science students or engineering. I think it totally would be worth it for those kind of students. Because ordinarily during the June break, many students try to seek things like internships and the like. And given that this program is only a week long, I feel like it would be very, very beneficial. So I absolutely would recommend that we try to have a similar program for South Africans. It really would be beneficial. So at first, I was expectant to be meeting people from all over the world, and it was great having been placed in a team with people who think very differently from how I do. And it was on Tuesday, like day 2 of the project, that we were actually tasked with coming with a research project that integrates all of our specialties, right? And given that we saw how at first it was really difficult to find common ground. However, we were able to do so successfully in that context. And given that that was the case, it made me realize that much as the world is so big, we have a common understanding of what matters and how we want to translate what we've learned and to bring about impact. So absolutely, I've made new friends who literally stay halfway across the globe. We've exchanged contacts, and absolutely from a research, especially perspective, I see myself collaborating potentially with them in the future. And the beautiful thing about interdisciplinary work also is that it's so malleable, and one isn't confined to your particular field of expertise. If the common goal is to know that we're intending to bring about impact, we're all on to believe smart and skilled enough to bring our heads together and tackle a common problem to realize change. Yes. And I mean, it's beyond, upon me expressing my gratitude, I would like to thank the European Union for funding initiatives such as the OpenInnoTrain. For them, the amount of funds that they contribute to such spaces, the impact that they have is everlasting, because the waves that it ends up propelling, and it will echo through time. And what I also got to appreciate is how impact is never short term. So it's an investment that was made to people like myself, and we will take the skills that we've harnessed now, and to bring them about in our communities and our respective countries. So we really appreciate having been given this opportunity.